Hey guys, hope you all have been well. Welcome back to my channel. I'm finally going to do a collection video. I looked back on my channel and it seems as if it's been an entire year since I've done an entire makeup overview. For today, I'm going to be concentrating on highlighters and my bronzers. I've done a blush video, so I don't feel like I need to redo it. You've seen all of the blushes that I own already, as well as my eyeshadows. And if you're interested, I hope you decide to stay tuned. I believe I have less highlighters than I do bronzers, so maybe we'll start there. This is a newer item to me. This is the NARS Multiple, and this is in the shade South Beach. It does work and it does show up on my complexion, but I don't know if I would say that it's the perfect shade for me. Only used it a couple times, so verdict is still out on this one. Next up, we have the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek in Wisp. I love this highlighter. It's so good. It's a cross between sort of like a putty and powder. It's really good and I love the shade on my complexion. Here we have the MAC MSF in Cheeky Bronze. I repurchased this because mine was really old, but I love this as a blush topper. And I mean, there's not much more to say about it. It's this rosy bronze and it's beautiful. Here we have, always forget what this is called, the Dior Nude Luminizer, and this is in the shade 01. I believe this is Nude Glow. It's a stunner, it's a classic, it's beautiful, except for the packaging. Here we have my very old NARS Blush in Tribulation. This is a highlighter. It broke. I knew you were gonna happen one day. Here we have the highlighter. I love this highlighter. It's just so subtle and the shade is so perfect on my skin tone. I can't be without it, and I hate that it's discontinued because this is something I would recommend to people who like subtle highlighters. I don't think this needs an introduction. This is the Fenty Beauty Mean Money and Hustla Baby Killawatt highlighter. You have more of this metallic glittery side and then more of a subtle satiny finish on this side. I love both. My favorite is to mix both of them. It's hard for me to just use this on its own. This I do use occasionally by itself, but the mixture of the two is what I prefer. This was a limited edition, I believe, because the packaging is different. This is a limited edition highlighter from Bobbi Brown. This is in Rosy Glow. Yeah, guys, I know. I think so too. It's absolutely stunning. I ended up giving away my bronze glow. That's going to my best friend because I have a gold highlighter already, but I bought this when it was still on Macy's and no regrets. The other Bobbi Brown highlighter that I have is in Afternoon Glow. They look similar, but this does have more of a like bronze and golden glow to it. And this is in their permanent collection. So if you're interested, Afternoon Glow is what it's called. I hate reading this name. I never remember it. The Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Superstar Glow Highlighter. Why is it so long, Charlotte? I don't think I'll ever be able to finish this entire highlighter. I use this so much and I still have the embossment in it. It is a lot more intense than I would like highlighters to be, which is why I use it sparingly. But this is a big mamma jamma of highlighter. It is a really pretty shade. I really do like it. I just wish they had like a smaller version. All right, so this one here is the bronze highlighter that I have. This is the NARS highlighter in Ibiza, and it's stunning. I love this color on my complexion. I feel like it's the perfect gold because a lot of times with gold, it really does pull yellow and it really shows heavily on the cheeks. But this on my tan complexion just, I mean, it melts beautifully. So I only need one gold in my life, and this is the one that it's gonna be. Tom Ford Skin Illuminating Powder Duo. I know I've mentioned it before that I almost decluttered this thing, this huge expensive thing, but after I tried mixing the two and using it as highlighter, oh my freaking word, it looks like powder wetness. This on my skin is the one highlighter I can say with certainty that despite it being a powder, it looks like wet skin. I'm so happy that I fought myself to keep this one because it's so good. All right, guys, we're gonna take a little moment to do a demo on how to open these Pat McGrath compacts here for the highlighter as well as the blush. This bottom portion is what many of us will press on, but you need to press the top of it. And if you press it from the top said button here, it just opens. Bottom, difficult. I'm trying to pull it up. Press it from the top, it just opens. So that is your Pat McGrath lesson for the day. But this is the highlighter. It's beautiful, it's stunning, but damn is it intense. I have to use this extremely sparingly because of my textured skin, but the color on this is absolutely stunning. This is some really pigmented stuff. Like, look. This is enough for one side of my face. And that's it for highlighter. How many do I have total? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Not bad, not bad. I don't think there's anything that I would declutter right now. I did declutter one. Again, I mentioned the Bronze Glow from Bobbi Brown, but I'm pretty content with my highlighter collection, and I can't think of one right now that I'm interested in purchasing. So I'm gonna be good for a little while. All right, so we're moving on to the bronzers here. Oops, sorry, Casino. Let's start off with the cream bronzers. This one here is from Lancome. This is their Teint Idole Ultrawear Foundation Stick. I have it in the shade Suede, and I use it as a bronzer. I only have a little bit left. This is pretty easy to go through because it's so soft, so I can finish this up. I know I can, and it's such a pretty shade. It is a bit orange, but sometimes that's what I prefer, so I like that I have it. Fenty Beauty Matchstick in Mocha. This one is just about done. It's a pretty neutral brown shade, but sometimes I find that it pulls more red on my complexion, but I am still using it, and I really want to finish this one up. I've done a review on this product already. This is the NARS Sunkissed Bronzing Cream, a neutral, kind of a little bit more cool tone bronzing cream, and I really have been enjoying it. I mean, you can see that nice little dent I have in there, and this is in the shade Laguna. I don't think this is available anymore, but something tells me that this might be making a comeback because of how popular it was when it came out. Here we have the Tower 28 Bronzino in Gold Coast. This product is very light and sheer on the complexion, so I would suggest that maybe you try it out with maybe a skin tint or very light layer foundation. I don't know how it would apply if you have full coverage. If you've tried it, let me know, but I see this more as a softer, barely there makeup kind of bronzer, and it does have that golden reflect in it, which is really pretty on the skin, and I have been enjoying it so far, so no regrets there. And those happen to be my 4 cream bronzers that I'm working on. So let's get to some powder. Casino bronzer. This might break on me too. Oh no, not today. This product is really old. I've had it forever, but it is pretty dark for my complexion. I do have to go in with a lighter hand, but I like that I have it. It's classic. I have Laguna with me already, so I mean, it needs its partner in crime. Who's Mario without Luigi? So Luigi, you're staying with me. Fenty Beauty Sunstalker Bronzer, and I have the shade Island Ting. I remember when I first got this, I was so stoked because of how good it was. I think this is a really good everyday color for my complexion, and it just goes on so beautifully. It's not too pigmented, it's easily buildable, and that's how I prefer to have my powders, whether it's eyeshadow or face products. So this one here is absolutely stunning. Makeup by Mario. This is his Soft Sculpt Bronzer, and I have it in the shade Medium. This too is amazing. This does not have any kick up at all. It almost feels like it's cream to powder, but I love the shade. Again, it's a good everyday shade for me, and this compact is like, that's so satisfying. Bobbi Brown, we have the bronzer. Where's the little button there? This is the bronzer in Natural. This pulls a little bit more reddish but also neutral. I don't know if that makes sense, but when I look at it, that's what I'm seeing. But on my complexion, I do see a bit more of that red, and it's just so buttery smooth when you apply it. So I really do like this bronzer as well. NARS, yeah, this is a newer packaging because my old Laguna was absolutely destroyed. So we have Laguna, and I do have a nice dent in it already. I panned my other Laguna and it was crumbling from the sides. Did they make Laguna into that big gelée formula? Because if they did, I don't know if I'm going to be a big fan of that. This formulation is the way to go. It's such a pretty bronzer. It's one of my top bronzers because I love that subtle golden sheen that it gives the complexion. So good. Hey you, Hula Bronzer from Benefit. Why aren't you opening? I mean, do I really need to talk about this bronzer? It's been around for ages, as the Brits say. I've been noticing that quite a few Americans are saying I haven't bought one in ages. I'm like, you probably watch a whole lot of British YouTubers. But this is just a good neutral matte bronzer. I have no regrets in purchasing this. I'm glad that I finally got to try the formula. I definitely picked mine up way after the trend expiration date, but it really is a solid bronzer, so I'm gonna keep that. Marc Jacobs. Oh, this thing is huge. You can see where I swirl my brush in, and a good neutral bronzer. I don't like the smell. It smells like coconut once again, but as far as the way that it works on my complexion, I use it a lot in videos. That definitely shows that it's being put to use, and yeah, I'm gonna continue to keep it and use it. Why it's so huge, I don't know. Wayne Goss, one of my newest powder pickups. This stuff is beautiful. It's so good. Now, why my pan has this, I have no freaking idea, but the color still picks up on my brush, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. This only touches my face. This side has more of like a satiny finish, and so it has a bit of that glow on the complexion, and it is warmer, whereas this is cool tone. And I love putting this sort of the outer portions of like my cheekbones, the perimeters of my forehead, to do a bit more of like pinpoint contouring. And this stuff is pigmented, especially this side. Sweet Jesus. And I've been really enjoying this one. I forgot to mention what it was called. This is the Radiance Boosting Face Palette, and I have it in the shade Satin Bronze, which I believe is the medium compact. And lastly, we have my Build Your Own palette from MAC, filled with their Pro Sculpting powders. I have, if I can remember, starting off up top, we have Bone Beige. Then here I have Sculpt, which is the light contour shade. This one here is Shade Stir, which is the one I use the most. And then down here is this deeper contour powder in Shadowy. And here's my dilemma. I don't use all of these powders, but I do like to have them. When I will ever need to use this, now that I have the Wayne Goss one, I don't know. I do know I want to keep this because I use it a lot, and I do use this quite a bit as well. But this is a good shade too. See, you see what I do? These powders are so good. That's why I have the hardest time getting rid of them. Whatever, it's staying for now, but that's my dilemma currently. Alright guys, so here's the final overview of my entire collection of highlighters and bronzers. I hope you enjoyed this video. I believe the next video will be face products, so primers, foundations, powders, and if I can include lip products, then I will do that as well. So thank you guys so much for joining me in this video. Until the next one, I hope you all are doing well, taking great care of yourselves. I will see you all next time. Oops. Bye guys.